Hey, it's David Hall again, back with 8 good minutes-ish. Is that what we call it now, Ben? 8-ish good minutes? Roughly 8 good minutes. That's what it is. And I'm really happy this episode to be joined by one of our senior members at Hall Financial, a senior home loan advisor, Mr. Nick Martin. How are you, Nicky?
I'm doing great. I just never thought my time would actually come to be here.
How about that? You were just talking about how, you used to hold the mic a lot when you would karaoke. I didn't realize you were a big karaoke guy.
No, it was like a short stint. I tried karaokeing. They kicked me off stage very fast, but
They did?
yeah.
Did you get like gonged like back in the days of the Gong Show, that kind of thing?
Yeah. It was kind of like that.
Okay,
yes.
got it. So, I want to talk about buying power. You do a lot of business at Hall Financial, a lot of purchases. And one thing that keeps coming up, and I think it's important enough to do a whole podcast on, I got a series of questions for you here, but that is buying power, because there's a lot of misinformation, I feel, in the market. When a consumer calls one bank or another lender or somebody they know, they might get different information about how much they qualify for. And I always find that to be very interesting, because I think that most consumers would assume that when you call somewhere, that's just what you qualify for. But sometimes, whether it be paying off debt, or because the interest rate at one place is a little lower than another, or because somebody's an expert and they know how to coach them into buying the rate down because it makes sense, they might qualify, instead of like in a first-time homebuyer situation, $160,000 house, they might qualify for $180,000. And I think that that's like a big deal for a lot of folks. Walk me through some of the things that you see as it relates to people having a misperception about their buying power in the market.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Number one is getting your income calculated correctly. Having the estimates on, say, what your closing costs will be, what the taxes are going to be, because you can easily underestimate a lot of these, and just having all of your documents reviewed, making sure that, how you mentioned, like getting your debts paid off. Maybe there is extra income that somebody else that they didn't want to calculate or didn't think about calculating.
Right.
Using like our 1% down program. Then all of a sudden you can have a little more buying power by using like an appraisal guarantee, or maybe buying your rate down further. There's just, whenever you're talking to just one bank, they don't have every program that's out there. So talking to your local broker, or so talking to us, we'll just kind of unload all the information to you.
And I think what's important about that you mentioned is, like, for a guy like you, that's your competitive advantage. You're very detailed, and you ask all the questions. And as much as, I don't want to say this, but there are some places that you might call where maybe they don't have the same expertise or incentive to get you all the information. Somebody might just be trying to get you off the phone. They don't think you're qualified, or maybe you're not buying a big house, so they're not really giving you as much attention. But like with you, that's why, a lot of folks that will reach out to me, I have them work with you, because you really dig in deep on all the details. Like you said, somebody's got a part-time job, we could calculate that income, and now all of a sudden you don't have to be looking at $135,000 homes. You could look at $175,000 homes. I mean, that's a big deal. And I think that you are the kind of guy that wants to dig into those details, because you want to make sure you get it right. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I mean, it's just making sure, because like mortgage industry in general, there's just a lot that goes into like qualifying somebody, and everybody thinks that it's just, okay, I make this money, I can buy this house. There's so many other factors that are there, and like me and as well as the rest of our team, like we just focus a lot on those kind of details to make sure that you're in the best mortgage for yourself, because you don't buy a house every day. We help every day.
Yeah.
So just making sure that we pass on the expertise onto you.
The one of the big things that I want you to touch on as well, that especially, it's probably as big as it's ever been in this market today, is folks that can buy their interest rate down a little bit. Historically, a lot of people will just get a 0-point rate and they just take that rate. The way the market is priced right now, which is very unique to my other 27 years, is that when you pay a little bit extra to get the rate down, you now qualify for more. And that is something that a lot of people are taking advantage of, but not enough people know about.
Yeah, because I mean, the one thing that I always notice is that at times just buying your rate down versus putting more of a down payment down. Like when you compare those two, it makes sense to buy a rate down further. And just to touch on your point, yeah, rates are way different than how they have been priced out wise. 'Cause
Yep.
you used to look at the no point rate and all that. Now there's costs across the board.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure that where are you allocating your money to make sure that it makes the most
Makes the
sense
most
for you.
sense. That's it. Yeah. And that's the thing is I think everybody that goes into buying a home just wants to make sure that wherever putting their dollars makes the most sense because like you said, you could put it towards the house, you could put it towards the rate. There's different things that you can do with your budget. And I think that that's another thing that's unique to you and our team here at Hall Financial is you're always trying to make sure that you create a great experience for your client so they come back to you because you have a lot of incentive to work with your closed clients and you have such a high rate of closed clients that come back to work with you. It's really amazing and it's because of all the work that you do for them up front.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the biggest thing because we're getting you into a mortgage right now. It might not be your forever mortgage. We're following up with you multiple times a year just to give you quick market updates. So you don't have to watch the market. You don't have to wait until rates drop type of thing. We're always going to keep you into a better spot, always keep the contact. So it's getting you into a good spot now and later.
Right.
It's just what we're known for.
So last thing, I'll get you out of here on this. A lot of folks call in and they're not sure about their credit or they have debts. And you sometimes will coach them on how to get their credit score up, maybe paying off a debt before they buy a home. Just take me through that process of what you think about when you talk to folks, because there's probably a lot of people that are listening to the podcast now thinking, yeah, I'm not really sure about my credit. I need somebody to help me with that. Like, where do you start and sort of where do you go with that with let's just say a first-time home buyer?
Yeah, so first-time home buyers. So we look at the credit report and we see like just overall credit history, utilization on their credit in general. We see if this will be something that is maybe a short term. Maybe we can get your score up immediately with our credit rescore program. Or if it's something more long term that we have to set follow-ups for. But it is more what debts you have. If there's a collections that you don't have or that you didn't know about, if there's overutilization on credit cards, that's always the number one.
Yep.
Student loans, there's just whatever is on there. It's just doing a full analysis on what is there, seeing what we can do in the short period of time to get you the most qualified for a mortgage.
And I've seen you before take 30, 40 minutes with somebody on the phone talking to them about their credit and their credit report. That's the kind of detailed analysis you like to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Every line item has
Every
to go
line.
over.
And by the way, folks, this man is a tremendous bowler. He thinks he's a good singer. He's not, but he is a tremendous bowler. What's your average?
I've got I think I'm in like a 220, 216 range right now.
How's that elusive 300?
I got the 300 last year.
Once?
My first one for my life.
At the company bowling outing, I know you were making a run at it.
I was.
How close were you?
I think I ended up getting like in the 270s.
270s?
Yeah. I
It's a
couldn't
schlubby game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
If it's not 300, don't even talk to me.
That's basically it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Listen, Nick Martin, thanks for being on the show this week.
Yes, thank you.
8 good minutes. You did a great job, and you look phenomenal.
Thank you.
For everybody here on the show, that's 8 good minutes. We'll see you next time.